Chapter 33. Bathing oneself proved to be an awkward affair for someone who normally had servants to do the job for her. Mariella had given Desmond a cloth, and Desmond had managed to scrub her skin somewhat, though she had to have Mariella wash her back. After that, Desmond slipped on Mariella's old dress. It was of a lighter material than Desmond expected, and the cloth swished as she moved. Mariella helped her lace up the back, and then made Desmond sit on a chair while she brushed her hair. "You're very good at this." Desmond closed her eyes as the brush grazed her scalp. "You're as good as Maria." "I've had practice." Desmond peeked at her out of the corner of her eye. "Back in the kingdom you were born in?" Mariella fell silent a moment, while continuing to brush. "Let the past stay there, your highness." "Very well," Desmond said. "I think, however, I'll plait your hair in one of my favorite styles." Mariella retreated to the chest and removed a green ribbon. For the next few moments, Mariella braided Desmond's hair, though Desmond couldn't see the style. She'd have to wait until she returned to the castle. "There." Mariella stepped back. "Oh, you look charming. I always thought it was a shame everyone here hides their hair under a veil. Come look." She pulled a mirror from the trunk next. Desmond was beginning to think it was a magic portal to another world. Mariella handed Desmond the mirror. "Oh." Part of Desmond's hair had been braided back, while the rest tumbled onto her shoulders. The ribbon had been intertwined with the braid. "How unusual! Do you like it?" "I love it." Desmond rested the mirror on her lap. "Forgive me for fussing with you so much." Mariella took the mirror and tucked it back in the chest. "I've always wanted a daughter I could dress up like this, so I suppose I had to get it all out on you." "I don't mind at all." Desmond stood and twirled, causing the dress to fly out around her legs. "It's fun to dress in something which doesn't weigh me down. I never realized how heavy my royal clothes were." Mariella smiled at her, and Desmond returned it. "Can't imagine why she has such an obsession with washing." Severn's voice drifted in from outside. "Every week it's the same thing." "I haven't the foggiest," came Timron's voice. "Been this way since I met her." "She's your wife." "Doesn't mean I understand her." The door opened and Timron stepped in. "When you marry, son, you'll find that some things you do because it makes him happy." "Sounds like a bother to me." Severn walked in, running his hands through his hair. He halted when his eyes landed on Desmond. Desmond's eyes zoomed in on his hair. Without the layers of earth to plaster it to his head, it waved and danced. And there was so much of it. She burst into laughter. Everyone in the cottage turned to look at her. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but..." Desmond dissolved into laughter again. "Your hair, Severin, it's so fluffy." "Fluffy?" Severin pulled the front of his hair down so he could see it. "I suppose." "Do forgive me," Desmond said, still laughing. "I'm being quite rude, but it surprised me. When you walked in, I had a momentary vision of a giant reaching down, plucking you from the earth, and blowing on your head, while tufts of hair flew off like dandelion fluff." She burst into barely contained giggles. It struck me as funny. Severin and his family glanced at each other in the silence. Severin ran his hands through his hair again, and chuckled. He chuckled long and hard. "Father was telling me I need a haircut." "Oh, please don't," Desmond said, finally getting a hold of herself. "I like it." Severin fingered his hair as his face flushed red. "Mariella?" Timron examined Desmond up and down. "Is this your old dress?" "It is. It suits her, doesn't it?" "It does." Timron gave her a small smile. "You look like my darling did when I first met her, your highness." Desmond swayed back and forth, the dress swishing about her. "Seeing as though you married her, I'll take it as a compliment." "It's the highest compliment I can make." Timron kissed Mariella's cheek. "Oh, you sweet man." Mariella patted his cheek. "What happened to your own clothes, princess?" Severin's eyes roved over the dress from top to bottom. "I washed them," Mariella smirked. "They won't be dry until tomorrow." "Ah, so that's what you were scheming last night," Severin said. "Oh, off with you." Mariella waved them off. "The gates will be open soon, and..." A distant bell chimed. "There's a signal. I would have liked to send you with breakfast, but..." Mariella shuffled them out. "Move on, you two. Remember, you have to do shopping in the market, Severin. Don't waste time and let the good products disappear." "Yes, Mum." Severin retrieved the pack Tesco had laden him with last night. Mariella handed him a pouch, leaned in, and whispered something in Severin's ear. "Are you sure?" Severin shouldered his pack. Mariella nodded. "We'll make up for it before long. Go on now, hurry." "Thanks, Mum." Severin kissed her cheek. He led Desmond across the field to the city gate. Though they had walked this path the night before, Darkness had obscured the landscape. In the brightening sun, Desmond saw the city wall rise up to the sky to her right, and the trees of the forest tower to the sky a fair way to her left. Birds wheeled overhead, while bees buzzed about her. Grasshoppers jumped from one blade of grass to another, and butterflies flitted from one golden wildflower to the next. Everywhere she looked, she saw something new. The forest, Severin. Have you ever been inside? When Desmond turned to him, she caught him staring at her. What is it? Nothing. I'm not sure how to say this without offending you. Just say it. I think your royal robes detract from you, your highness. Severin held his hands behind his back. What do you mean? Well, a simpler look suits you. You've always been beautiful wearing your royal clothes, but now in this dress, you're breathtaking. Oh, Desmond felt her cheeks flush. Thank you, Severin. You're welcome, your highness.